What's up, everybody? Welcome to our very first episode of a show we're calling Daddy Tested and
Daughter Brood.
and this is your host Romy alongside his co-host
Madison.
And today in episode 1 we're going to be talking a little bit about let's see, what should we talk about? Oh, I know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about
How does your kids go to sleep by herself?
That's right. That's right. I think she's a host and I'm the co-host actually. So Madison, do you sleep in your own room?
Sometimes. I only sleep with my daddy for just a little. So, I'm in my room, daddy's in my room, and then we sleep together for just a little for daddy, and then he goes to his own room.
Yep, that's right. So, let's go back in time. When Madison was a baby, she actually slept in her own bedroom. And then we moved homes. There was a lot of change when she was really young. And so Madison started sleeping in my bedroom with me. When she was around 4 years old, she's 6 now. Later in her, I think maybe when she was 4.5, we started having her sleep in her own room. It was kind of tough for the first week or so because she would end up wanting to come into our room. But now things all worked out. I think it took 2 weeks. And here's a setup, and it works perfectly for us. And Madison, I'd like to know if you agree. But I sleep in Madison's bedroom after we read a book together for about 20 minutes. That's where we lay down together, we talk for a little bit, hold hands, and fall asleep. Once she falls asleep, again, 20 minutes, I'll walk into my room, and I'll sleep in my room. Now, the way we have it set up is she has a nightlight in her room, and I have a nightlight in my room. And the rule is both doors are open, and the nightlights help her kind of come up, see where my room is, and walk over and crawl into the bed if she wants. Madison, how often do you crawl into Daddy's bed, do you think?
Just a little time.
Yeah. So I think maybe 1 out of every 6 sleeps she'll come over. And it's totally okay. To be completely honest with you, I was sleeping in my parents' room, up until I was much older. And I think it's a lot of great bonding. So I don't mind it at all. But I think it's also cool that Madison kind of feels like she can sleep in her own room and wake up when she's ready. Which leads me to another topic. I think one reason a lot of kids don't sleep in their own room is because they're scared. And, every kid's different. And that's going to be a recurring theme with all of our topics and all our shows. Every kid is different. All parents are different. Families are different. And, we hope to offer maybe some insight into what...
Even your sister and brothers are different.
That's right. I just hope we offer some insight that maybe you could use. One thing that we've done to make it so Madison isn't completely scared at night, in addition to night lights, obviously, are 2 things. I recall when I was growing up, I had older cousins, love them, but they used to scare me all the time. They would say, at night, they would make up these stories. I don't want to talk about it here, but they do things that make me scared at night. The other thing they do is I would walk and then I'd turn a corner and then my dad would be like, boo, and surprise me, right? We don't really do that with Madison. I know there's some fun there to do that, but it's at the expense of the mind games you play with yourself that could get you scared. So that's one thing we don't do. The other thing we did with Madison at a very young age is we exposed her to shows that were probably for kids a little older. So when Madison was 3 or 4, honestly, she was watching things that were, say, PG and PG-13. I know there are a lot of parents out there I won't even let my kids watch Frozen, and they're 8. And that's fine. Again, everyone has the right to kind of protect their kids from things that they think is going to scare them. But I do think at an early age, exposing her to that stuff has made it so that when she sees things on TV, she knows it's just fake. One thing we used to do with her is if she saw something on TV, like something bad happened to a person or an animal, we would go online and be imdb.com and see oh, you see that person that just got hurt on the TV show or the movie? Look, they're right here, and in fact, they're okay. It was just pretend.
But if you're 5 or 6 or 4, and you watch a scary movie, in nighttime you will like have that in your dreams. So make sure you don't get some scary things because that's what I did last time.
Yeah, exactly. So we exposed her to stuff early on. With that said, if it's a completely like very, very scary thing, we don't have her watch it because, again, listen, I watch a scary movie as an adult and I'll get scared in my own room. So I can only imagine what Madison or your kid would feel like. So, we expose her to certain things that kind of push the boundaries of like what age limitations are, but not to the point where we're watching scary movies together. And I think, she kind of became used to it. And so, like, we've had situations where we've talked to parents where their kids get kind of scared over certain cartoons, and Madison's like, oh, I didn't even know that was scary. Pros and cons to it. Should she be watching PG-13 things when she's not PG or PG-13 age? I don't know. Personally worked out for us. The other thing is we don't scare her suddenly at night. And it's worked out. Madison, anything you want to add?
Nothing.
Cool. So again, every family is different. Our recommendations are, don't make it such a hard and fast rule when you're trying to get your kid to sleep in their own bedroom. Make them feel safe and comfortable in knowing that they can come to you at night when they're scared or they're feeling restless. Eventually, they'll learn to sleep in their own room, and in fact, they'll be snoring or knocked out that they won't even wake up to come over your room. Right?
Sometimes I do that.
That's right. Sometimes she does that too. And the other takeaway is, don't shield your kids too much from watching anything that's like just a few years older than what's recommended. And certainly don't shield them so much that you're not even letting them watch, say, a rated G thing when they're like, in their 6, 7, 8 years of age. I think the more you shield them, the more they'll be surprised when they start watching it later on, which is gonna happen as they grow older. So a little bit of early experience there helps. And also, don't surprise scare them. I think it's fun to surprise scare them, but not at the expense of them playing mind games with themselves at night and being afraid. So, those are our takeaways. Madison, anything else you want to add?
No.
No? Cool. Well, that was another episode. In fact, that was our very first episode of Daddy Tested and
Daughter Approved.
We hope you liked the show. We hope you had you got some useful tips from us. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them below. Like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be doing many more of these. Also, if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover, we would love to hear from you, and maybe we'll cover them. Cool? All right. Thanks.
Oh, and also give us 2,000 subscribers and 2 thumbs up for our video.
That's right. Everything that this cute kid said. We want 2,000 likes, 2,000 subscribers, and what else? 2 thumbs up. Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. These kids these days. She teaches me how this works. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. Completely forgot to bring this up. But another thing Madison and I do Friday and Saturday night is I'll actually have her... oh, that's Cookie. I'll actually make it so that... Okay, Cookie, you want to be a part of this? Friday and Saturday night, we have this routine where instead of setting her up at like 8:30 p.m. and then quote-unquote fake sleeping for 20 minutes and then having to come back downstairs, I'll lay out a pillow and a blanket on the couch. And so I'll watch TV on the couch. And eventually she'll fall asleep herself or I'll have her go to sleep. This way, I don't have to fake sleep and feel groggy and feel like the night's over on the weekend. And the really cool thing, and I love this the most, is then when she falls asleep and I'm ready to go to bed, I can actually scoop her up and put her in her bedroom. And I know I won't be able to do that forever, but she's 6 and I can still pick her up. And I enjoy it every Friday and Saturday I do that. So that's another thing to consider for the weekends where, you want them to sleep in their own room, but you don't want to have to go through the whole routine of sleeping with them and letting go. Cool. Well, we hope that's also helpful. We'll talk to you later. Bye.